Namaste Kumar Bhaiya. Good morning. Welcome to the morning session.
नमस्ते
Today we are on 25th day. जी भैया।
नमस्ते भैया नमस्ते everyone. So this is the assignment that we had taken yesterday. We are trying to explore the higher level activities of the self. So reflect on the higher activities within yourself. The activity of contemplation, seeing the relationship and your role in relationship with all other units in the nature. The activity of understanding, seeing the harmony, the self-organization in every unit in the existence. The activity of realization, seeing the coexistence in existence, that every unit in existence is in coexistence with the space and with every other unit. Refer to your natural acceptance. Reflect on the fact that we have a natural acceptance for relationship, harmony, and coexistence, because this is so. This is the very design of the existence. Note down your observation in your journal. So this is something that we are trying to look into, that I have the activity of contemplation, I have the activity of understanding, I have the activity of realization. That potential is already there in me, and I need to activate it. I need to awaken to the activity of contemplation, understanding, and realization. You can also see that the object of contemplation is relationship, participation in the larger order. The object of understanding is harmony, and the object of realization is coexistence, that is submergence of nature in space. So it does take time to awaken to these high level activities. But once I am aware that they are there in me, and I get assured that once awakened, I am going to be happy within me by the awakening of my own activities. I did not try to fetch happiness from outside. I did not be running outside for happiness. That gives me a definite program to develop. So we are not expecting that just by listening to this lecture, just by attending the morning session, the activities are going to be awakened. But we can be aware of that. And that will give us a different program to go ahead. So now I have a program that, yes, to have the source of happiness inside me, I have to awaken my own activities, right? And that is there in me. I am aware of that. So no longer will I crave for happiness from outside. That is a significant change. That is a kind of milestone that we are able to achieve once we are able to see that, yes, the source of happiness is inside. I need not run for it outside. And then it's only a journey for us. We only have to keep on working. Okay. But that awareness, that assurance is there in us. So we have to work for that. And for that purpose only, we are having the morning sessions. And we can also see that the more we are into this exploration, that kind of assurance is also on the rise. We are more and more aware. We are more and more assured. Okay. So awakening to the high level activities is the key. And that is development of the self. And that is the takeaway from our life, isn't it? The body is temporary, we can all see. The interaction that we have at the level of body are again temporary. The physical facilities are temporary. So what is continuous? It is me. And what is going to continue in me? By awakening. I hope we are able to see this, isn't it? So if any question is there, you may raise your hand. If any sharing is there.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste to all. Bhaiya, I'm able to understand this desired thought and expectation, and with examples you explained, Bhaiya, but higher level activities like authentication, understanding, realization, all those things, can you explain with the example like Bhaiya?
Okay, it was explained also, but I'll go over it again. So, for example, you are related.
Mm,
You are related to your body. You are
mm,
related to the other members in your family. You are related to
mm,
every human being. You are related to the rest of nature, the birds, air, water, soil, material things. You are very much related. How
mm,
come?
mm,
So, are you able to see this relationship? So, presently, we try to derive that I am related at the level of thought. And since I'm
mm,
interacting with my body, so I'm related. Since I'm interacting with my family members, I'm related. But we can
mm,
see at a more basic level that I am basically related to them, whether I interact or not.
mm,
So the consciousness is basically related to the material and to other consciousness units. This seeing is contemplation, that I am related. So this is contemplation, seeing the relationship. Similarly, we naturally accept harmony. I want to be in harmony within me. I want to be in harmony with the body. I want to be in harmony with my other family members. I want to be in harmony. No? And we can also see that every unit in the nature is in harmony. So we naturally accept harmony. But we can also see going further that every unit in itself is harmony. So harmony is innate to every unit. This observation is understanding, seeing the innateness of every unit. Similarly, I can see that the basis of this relationship, this harmony, is submergence of nature in space. So space is there. I am there in space. I am related with my body through space. I am related with other human beings through space. I am related with the rest of nature through space. So at a more basic level, I can see that the relationship is there, being in space. And being in space only, every unit is self-organized, every unit is energized, every unit is active. Okay. So I can observe the submergence in space. This is realization.
mm,
So we cannot take examples of high level activities because
mm,
examples are related basically to the interactions. So maybe if we are citing some incident, okay,
mm,
then that is at the level of interaction, expression. But here at the level of block B1, we are talking about very basic things. So
mm,
in block B1, I can observe this relationship, harmony, and coexistence. In block B2, I can imagine about it. I can analyze it further. I can image my life with this understanding. I can taste the happiness that I get out of this understanding. And then I express it outside.
yeah. Mm.
Fine, Didi?
Yes, Bhaiya. But authentication, Bhaiya, seeing a relationship is contemplation, and seeing harmony in every unit is
Understanding.
understanding, and seeing coexistence in submerged, all units are submerged in space is realization, and we are not able to uh, we have to experience them. We don't able to explain our examples, but is it so, Bhaiya?
Yeah, so this is it.
Mm. But authentication, Bhaiya, authentication and the other is also there determinate.
Indications of what? Relationship?
In B1 block itself, the other side, dynamic activity and state activity, the things.
Oh. So the state activity is something that gets established in me. And the dynamic activity is a natural decision in me based on the state activity.
But Bhaiya, Can you please repeat it?
Yeah, so
State.
state activity is what gets established in me. Dynamic activity is the natural decision in me based on the state activity. So for example, if you move from top to bottom, so I'm able to see that every unit in this existence is submerged in space. The whole nature is submerged in space. Once I see this, then it gets authenticated in me. In what? Now, my whole set of activities is going to be guided by this realization of submergence. So this realization gets stated in me, okay? But the dynamism based on this realization is that my all activities are now getting self-organized based on the realization. Similarly,
A higher activity, Bhaiya. That is, if realization happens, that authentication follows.
Yeah,
Like
so
that.
my all activities are now going to be naturally awakened realization. So presently we are moving from bottom to top. We are trying to awaken activities one by one. Okay. It is partial to begin with. Now this gets completed with realization.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Okay. Similarly, when I understand the harmony in the nature, so I get naturally self-determined to live with harmony with every unit in the nature. Similarly, when I'm able to see the relationship at the level of contemplation, my all imagination is guided with feeling of relationship, no opposition, no contradiction.
Okay, Bhaiya.
And that same thing gets expressed outside. Similarly, based on this realization, understanding, and contemplation, my comparing is now guided. Earlier, it was unguided because I got motivated by profit. I got motivated by consumption in the name of health. I got motivated for sensual pleasures. Now they are all guided. No longer I start craving for senses, health, or profit. Similarly, at the level of testing, the sensation is also now guided with this goal and value. Okay, it was earlier unguided. I might be destroying my body for sensation. I might be destroying my relationship for sensation, but no longer it is the case now.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Fine, Didi.
Okay, Bhaiya. Thank you. I'm thinking. I understood, Bhaiya. I need further exploration to understand about the higher level activities. I got clarity, Bhaiya, some clarity. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Nice, Didi. You have joined from batch 2 only? No, you have joined from
No, Bhaiya. 12, Bhaiya.
Yeah. जी, nice, Didi.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
जी, नमस्ते.
भैया नमस्ते भैया सभी को नमस्ते भैया I am having one confusion. First we are saying self is the seer, doer, enjoyer, and at one stage we are saying we at the level of a pure observer, where the self is a witness, a sakshi. So I'm having the confusion, Bhaiya. When a self is a seer, doer, and when it becomes a pure observer, Bhaiya.
Self is anyway the seer, doer, enjoyer. But presently it is seer at the level of probably form or property. So it has to make a qualitative shift in seeing. So when it is pure observer, it is able to see the relationship, harmony, and coexistence. Isn't it? And at that point of time also, it is doer, it is enjoyer. So earlier, the doing part was unguided. The enjoyment was both for happiness and unhappiness. Now the doing guided when I'm there as a pure observer. So whatever decisions I take now are in line with relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So I'm still the seer, doer, observer, seer, doer, enjoyer. Okay, but there is a qualitative now. So as a pure observer, okay, I take a shift in my seeing, and that gives me a qualitative shift in doing as well as enjoying.
In some of the text, Bhaiya, I read that consciousness is simply a witness. It does nothing. It's only the body, the mind, the intellect that are active. Conscious is just an observer. It is not doing anything like that, it is said. So there I'm getting that confusion, Bhaiya.
In fact, something different has been said about the spiritual textbooks.
Yes, Bhaiya. Scriptures, Hindu scriptures.
Yeah. So there is something that comes from the scriptures and there is something that comes from the West. So what is basically being said there is that presently we have ego, that I am the doer. Right? So from doer, you have to become a non-doer. Basically, that is losing the ego. And why do I have the ego? Because I over-evaluate myself. I'm not able to see the potential in every self. I'm not able to see my relationship. I'm not able to see the harmony. So I wrongly evaluate, and that gives me ego. So doer, because when I say that I am doing, so a feeling, ego-like feeling is coming. I am explaining, I am doing this, I am doing that. Okay. So that sense of this I-ness becomes a hindrance when I'm over-evaluating myself. So that, how can that be reduced or how can that be removed? For that, it is said that you become a non-doer. From doer, you become a non-doer. So the words may look different, but the essence is the same. We are also saying that there is no need for ego. We are all submerged in space. And by virtue of coexistence, we are active. Every other unit is active. So there is no meaning of over-evaluation. There is no purpose of over-evaluation. I have to evaluate rightly. I have to see rightly. I have to evaluate rightly. So I do need to understand the self, the I. But the way the term I has been placed in the tradition, that has been equated to ego. So they say that you leave that ego or I-ness, aham bhav. Okay. So that has to be anyway, evaluated and done away with. I need to get rid of that. That kind of problem, the ego. But I think that yes, so I can still be a doer. What we are saying is that you are a doer. Presently, it is unguided. When it is guided, there is no more ego. So in place of saying non-doer, we are saying that you still remain a doer, but take that qualitative shift.
Bhaiya, for example, I'm planting a plant, Bhaiya.
I am?
So how can I say, please, Bhaiya.
No. I was asking what you were saying. I am planting.
I'm doing something, Bhaiya. Anything I'm doing. So how to actually say it, Bhaiya? How to actually feel it without ego?
Yeah, so I may assume that since I planted the tree, that's why it grew. I may assume that I am making the plant grow. I might assume so many things. Because of me only, the plant has survived. So this all is false evaluation, wrong evaluation. I can see that the plant grows by itself based on the laws in nature. And I have a role to play there. If I water the plants, it will be growing. If I do not water the plants, it will not grow. So my role is only to provide water to the plants. But the way water is reaching each and every cell of the plant, I have no role there. It is by virtue of
True.
coexistence. It is by virtue of harmony that it is happening. So
Mm.
I have to see my role and also the limitedness of my participation. So my role is to water the plants. If I do not water the plants, it will not grow. But
Mm.
root of the plant includes so many things. Once I water the plants, the water reaches from roots to the tip of the plant. How does it happen?
Mm.
I have no role there. Since it is embedded in coexistence, it is governed by the natural law. That's how it is happening. So the
Mm.
ego comes when I say that because of my watering, the plant grew. No, I provided water. That was my role. But the plant grew by virtue of coexistence.
Got it, Bhaiya.
Yeah. So for
Very
example, we
similarly,
are talking. Okay. We
ah,
are trying to explore the reality. So my role is to explain something. But you are understanding by virtue of your own potential to explore.
mm.
You are teaching a class, right? If you are saying that I developed these students,
Mm.
I shaped them, for such a bright career. So that is not the case. You played your role. You fulfilled your participation. Other also things are fulfilling their participation. The parents, the physiochemical things. Every unit is fulfilling the participation. When it comes to human, it can be definite or indefinite. When it comes to material, it is very much definite. But it is by virtue of the participation of each and every unit that outcomes are happening.
Exactly.
When I do not see this, then I enter into ego.
Similarly, Bhaiya, I am helping someone, maybe financially or morally. So in that way, how can I take it?
So you are helping someone, you are able to see the relationship, okay? But your role is to provide something. For example, guidance, for example, physical facility, for example, some service. That is your participation. But the way the provided guidance or service or physical facility is playing its role, it's not your participation. For example, you provided food to someone. That is your role. The nurturing by food of the body of the other is taking place by itself.
This is
Got it, Didi?
very much, Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya. I was a little bit confused. Now things are getting clearer, Bhaiya.
Nice,
Thank
Didi.
you so much, Bhaiya. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Taravi is saying that yes, physical facility also comes from nature. So the physical facility is there in the nature. Okay. Each and every unit in the nature is playing its role. And I have also my role. Okay. Only that if I do not understand it, I will not be able to fulfill it rightly. If I understand it, I will be able to fulfill it rightly. So when I see this,
Right.
naturally, I neither enter into over-evaluation nor under or otherwise evaluation. For example, if you're not able to fulfill its role, it's not that things are going to get damaged by completely itself. No. Every other unit is also playing the role. So what we need to do essentially is to realize the coexistence and get in line with it. We do not have to transform the world. We do not have to transform the society. We have to play our role in the transformation. That's all.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Bhaiya, although your last answer, things have been little clearer, but still, I want to know, like, once Ganesh sir came in the meeting, I guess in 12th batch, and he was saying that only two things which are constant in the world is in the means existence is that one is the state of pure observer and second is space. But yeah, sometimes I get confused in one thing that when we see from the B1 block, we have to be a pure observer. We have to have the drashtapat, and sometimes we also have to participate. Okay. My first question is that does participation happen or we design the participation? Because right now I'm not at the level of drashtapat. I'm not at the level of pure observer. So obviously I will have to give some logics to myself that no, I should do this, I should do this. I am being a doer now. Within me, when I see, so obviously I have the feeling of participation, but that is not fully guided by my natural acceptance. Sometimes I feel that what else am I doing? So let's do something worthy. So how should we see the limitedness of doing and importance of doing until we reach to the state of pure observer? I want to know. And I'm not able to understand that existentially, how is a human being just a pure observer or a doer as well? And what is the ratio like this? If you want to tell, please be guide it.
See, unless you are in the state of pure observer, that fluctuation in evaluation will be taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So that is there, है ना?
जी.
Now, to be a pure observer, you have to just set your priority. So you are a doer very much, you are enjoyer very much. Okay. Now, as a pure observer, there is a qualitative shift there.
Mm-hmm.
So that shift you have to take. This is your own decision. So once you are able to take that shift, the imagination gets guided accordingly.
जी.
So in doing also, okay, so
Mm-hmm.
it's natural doing based on pure observation is there in you now. So no longer you have to motivate yourself to do something out of some preconditioning or sensation.
Mm-hmm.
So the decision comes naturally in you. So for example, if I carry feeling of opposition as well as relationship, and I have to talk to the other, then I take a lot of time in deciding whether I should be approaching the other or not. Right? But when I'm able to see the relationship very much, then that decision either to talk now or not to talk now comes very naturally with a feeling of relationship. And it's not out of fear that I am deciding something. It's out of relationship. If I talk now, the other person may not listen to me. If I talk later, the other person may listen to me. That is not coming out of fear. If I have opposition, I will have fear. If I talk now and if he humiliates me again, what will happen? You know? So there is a shift here. So presently, we might be carrying the feeling of relationship as well as opposition. And that's why we have to analyze a lot. We have to compare a lot. It is not happening naturally in me. So to make any selection, I may take a lot of time because the decision is not coming naturally. I keep on testing happiness as well as unhappiness. My feeling keeps on fluctuating. But when I'm able to see the relationship very clearly, I always decide on the basis of relationship. If I'm able to see the harmony very clearly, my all expectations are based on this understanding of harmony. So that is the qualitative shift that I take.
So bhaiya, you mean to say like once we get that state or as we will move towards that state, so automatically participation will be natural.
Yes,
Is it
very
so?
much. So all the time you are participating now in a very natural manner. Even if you are taking rest, you are participating with the body, you can see. It's not that you are mentally fatigued and that's why you are taking rest. Okay. So within the consciousness, I am happy all the time in a state of bliss.
Mhm.
So I utilize my body, right, accordingly. I provide rest to the body accordingly.
Mhm.
I can see the relationship with the humanity. So my participation is no longer limited to the members of my family.
Correct.
It is with the whole humanity, right?
जी.
My vision for tradition is not limited to my clan or my family.
जी.
Vision for tradition is not for the whole human tradition.
Hmm. But yeah, even now I have this preconditioning when I was saying participation word and when I was getting into the definition of it. So in my mind, only the things were coming like guiding somebody to live a life with natural acceptance and bringing some people in UHV. But when you told that even when we are sleeping, that time too we are participating. So Bhaiya, could you please shed some light on it? Like how small the participation criteria can be and how large it can go?
See, this consciousness, you
Ji,
are related to your body,
ji.
related to other human beings,
Hmm.
to the entire nature.
Exactly.
So you are able to see that relationship and you are fulfilling it every moment.
Correct.
So with that feeling of relationship, I nurture my body, I protect my body, I rightly utilize my body. With that feeling of relationship, I interact with human beings. With that feeling of relationship, I interact with the rest of nature. That relationship is always there at the base.
Very good. Yes, Bhaiya, exactly. Means when we understand this properly that I am just a consciousness unit. So even body is not me.
Yes,
Similarly, we are able to see this. Yes, 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 correct, correct. Right now, because my preconditioning is there, mixed preconditioning is there that I am taking care of myself and I'm taking care of body, but body is also a separate reality. So that preconditioning was getting mixed. Yes, yes, it's perfect way. Even I am doing something for my body, so I'm doing something for physiochemical entity that I have got uh, to be a like complete human being of coexistence of both self and body. Correct. Yes, yes, yes. That is
yes.
also participation only. Yes, yes.
So as a pure observer, observing yourself different from the body is one key thing.
Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. All
Right.
right, Bhaiya.
Yes, Abhilash ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Hello.
जी नमस्ते.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, my question is, while I am doing contemplation, I am seeing that it is my own sanskars are used in analyzing the things. So is it that I should be at the pure observer level, then only I can do contemplation?
Yes. So I can contemplate only as a pure observer. If my preconditionings or influence of sensations are getting mixed up, then I'm no longer a pure observer.
Mhm.
So in the effort to become a pure observer, I am doing so many things. We are interacting, we are analyzing, we are evaluating. Doing all this, I can reach the state of pure observer. At that point of time, I am no longer dictated by any kind of preconditioning or sensation. I am with
But,
you.
but as soon as we start contemplation means uh, meaning I have come in the analyzing mode, na, so that pure observer part is means just sit and see, doing nothing, not reacting. But as soon as start analyzing means I'm doing something.
We are
So
not
that
saying
part
that.
I'm saying ki I am always come out of that observation part.
We are not saying that. That pure observation is seeing, sitting by yourself and not observing. No. Pure observation can be there even though you are utilizing your body, you are behaving, you are working, you are participating. You can be a pure observer every moment. To begin with, you may need to sit separately. Okay. But only that you have to be aware, even though you are interacting with your child. Okay. You are interacting with things in the house. You can keep observing. Keep on asking for yourself, what is it? Why is it? What is my role there? Keep on asking. Okay. And try to respond to these questions by yourself without mixing up any kind of preconditioning. Open up all that you have assumed and just observe. Nice, Didi. I think your connection got removed. So, Bhaiya, we can go ahead with this. So, this is what we had discussed yesterday. So, at one end, I am working for realization within, and at the other end, I am working for universal human order and human tradition. And paying attention to both the ends is very important. It so happens that if I do not try to observe my role in human tradition and I just keep on working for realization, I may be entangled in some thoughts and assume that I am trying to contemplate. But when I live, okay, and there I am able to validate my living, whether it is in accordance with my natural acceptance or not. So that gives me the clarity whether I am trying to awaken the higher level activities or just engrossed with the lower activities. Similarly, if I am only active outside and not inside, so I may again get caught up with the incidents and outcomes which are happening outside, and I get sometimes excited, sometimes depressed by the events outside. So at the core, I have to keep on working for realization also. So this gives me a definite program, working for realization within and expressing outside. If I go by this program, my program for awareness, my program for awakening becomes definite. I hope this is clear. We had discussed about this yesterday also. Ji, next slide, bhaiya. Now, having this clarity, we can have a look at the entire existence. So in the existence, there are so many units. Okay. On this planet itself, there are so many units and there are so many planets. There are so many solar systems, so many galaxies, right? But we can very much be clear about all this just as a pure observer. So I can see that in the entire existence, only two kinds of things are there. Space is there, which is all pervading, and units are there. Whatever be the size of unit, it is limited in size. So the planet Earth is limited in size. The solar system, every unit in the solar system, every planet, every asteroid, every comet, the sun itself, they are all limited in size. And the space is there everywhere. There is no limit to space. And there are so many galaxies, right? Every star, every planet, every satellite in this entire galaxy is again limited in size. The space is no activity. The space is there as the base for all activities. And every unit is an activity in itself and active with other units. You can also see that self-organization is available in space. And being in space, every unit is self-organized. So I am self-organized. My body is self-organized. Whatever is there in my room is self-organized. In fact, we take these things for granted that yes, it is very much there. Why do you talk about it? But we can now appreciate it, that see how it is self-organized, how the tree is self-organized, the wind is self-organized, isn't it? The soil is self-organized. Every unit in this nature is self-organized, being in space. So self-organization is available in space, and being in space, every unit is self-organized. Similarly, every unit is energized. I have energy, my body has energy. A table, chair, house, plants, trees, soil, air, water, every unit is energized, being in space. So the energy level goes up and comes down in the units. But if you observe the space, you can see that energy is there in equilibrium. The space is transparent, and through space, I am related to every other unit. Through space, every unit is related to every other unit. So being in space, this transparent space, every unit is very much related, and it is fulfilling the relationship also.
Yeah, namaste to all. Bhaiya, I just wanted to ask question pertaining to last slide. So, as you said that we are going to the pure observer level and then coming back. For me, I'm able to say bhaiya, this under evaluation, over evaluation of the other, or manipulation, as in a simple word, that in the living part. I keep on doing this because the other is not able to see my participation. Then is that the program will be in the same way when the other is not able to see this reality? This is what is there, Maya?
Now, presently, when the other is not able to see the reality,
Yeah,
my evaluation about the other keeps on fluctuating.
yeah,
With the state of pure observer, I am doing
yeah.
the right evaluation every moment.
Okay, okay,
That is, I am able to see that the intention is pure, the potential is very much there.
okay.
There's a definite program. The other person also needs to become a pure observer to have definite conduct. But since
Yes,
the other person is not a definite, is not a pure observer, the conduct is indefinite. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
can predict it also that since the other person has not been able to reach the state of pure observer, there will be indefiniteness in the conduct. Today
yeah,
it may appear definite, tomorrow it may become indefinite.
yeah.
Today it
Okay,
is indefinite, tomorrow it may become definite. So I'm expecting this naturally to happen.
yes,
I'm
yes,
expecting every human being that once the other person is able to reach the state of pure observer, the conduct is going to be definite. Else
okay,
it's going to be indefinite. Sometimes in line with feeling of relationship, sometimes in line with opposition, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in disharmony. Okay, that indefiniteness will be there. And that is there with me also.
yes, yes. Okay. Till I am there at the pure observer level, this I keep on slipping. That over evaluation and evaluation do happen at me also, with the other also, like that.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.
That's
Good
the
day.
thing. Now, within the nature, we can see that there are two kinds of units, material units and consciousness. So the all material units, we can see that they are temporary. Their constitution keeps on changing. And they only have the activity of recognizing and fulfilling. The consciousness units are continuous. Their constitution remains as it is. And they have the activity of knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. Now, the material units are in two orders, physical order and bio order. When you look at the physical order, the smallest self-organized unit is atom. The atoms combine to make molecules. The molecules combine to make molecular structures. These molecular structures can be in two forms, lump or fluid. So something that retains its shape, size is a lump. For example, the building is a lump. The table, chair, computer is a lump. Mountain is a lump. But there's another set of units like air, water, these are fluids. These fluids organize to make a cell. When respiration is there, it makes a cell. For example, if you observe water outside, let's say there is a pool and the water gets somewhat stored there. After some time, you'll see that algae gets formed on the surface of the water. So the air and water and few other things which are there in the soil, they all combine to make a cell. Now the cells also get further organized to make a plant. With a different kind of organization, the cells make an animal body. With still a different kind of organization, the cells combine to make a human body. And these are all there in the bioorder, right from cell to the human body. Now the animal body coexists with the self to make the animal order. The human body coexists with the self to make the human order. Now in the human order, we can see the development that we're talking about, and this is possible. So we are there in the human order. There is a body with me. I am there as a consciousness, and I am working to develop myself. And development is basically awakening to the higher level activities, awakening to the activities of contemplation, understanding, and realization. Okay, this is development, and this is the only form of development that is going to take place in this entire existence. So the development within the self. Now, in the rest of nature, we can see that there is composition, decomposition, there is a cyclicality involved. So all these structures in the physical order, they may get decomposed. We compose them, they get decomposed. Right? That cyclicality is there. In the plants and trees and animal body, human body, again, we can say that this composition, decomposition is taking place. But within me, there is development. So when we are trying to work for the development of the society, we have to work for the development of the self. Rest will be taken care of. So this is what we need to understand, that the development which is not cyclic is going to take place in the self. And for that we are working. Gee, I hope this is clear. This we might have discussed in the workshops also. Generally, when we have the introductory workshops, then we are not talking about this development of the self. Here we are including that part. So this might be something new to those who have only attended the introductory workshop and not attended the UHV2 workshop. Nice. Any questions so far?
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Where can you elaborate on this not cyclic linear development?
Okay. So non-cyclic means that once I awaken to the high level activities, they are going to continue. I can't go back to the previous state. The lack of awakening. I can't go to that previous state. Once awakened, I am there with this awakening. It is going to continue. For example, when I am able to see the relationship, that contemplation is going to be there forever in me. It is going to continue in me. Similarly, when I am able to understand the harmony, it is going to be there in me all the time. When I am able to realize the whole existence as coexistence, it is going to be there. There is no going back here. The going back is there in the rest of nature, but there is no going back in the development in the self. That's how we are saying that it is not cyclic.
But in our practice, we are fluctuating. So even though sometimes we feel like we are working on contemplation, but again we are coming down. So can we say it's linear or anything?
Yeah, so we are working for contemplation, but we have not been able to awaken the contemplation. That's why we are going back. So we are making effort to see the relationship. We are making effort to contemplate on the feeling of trust, respect, affection. We are making that effort, but that effort has not come to the outcome of awakening. So once there, it is going to continue. If not awakened, then there would be fluctuation in my imagination. Kaushalji is asking, when every unit is organized by being in space, why the self is not? Yeah, so the self is consciousness, and the self has the activity of assuming. This assuming may be guided by knowing and may not be guided by knowing. So we can see that we are in the process of knowing, but the knowing is not complete. So the assuming gets unguided. So it is like that only. It is there in the nature. The self has the potential to know, but unless I am able to utilize that potential to know, my assuming may remain unguided. So I am not self-organized. We are not saying that the self is organized and we are not able to observe it. No, we are saying we can very much see that I become unhappy. If I am self-organized, how I can become unhappy? We become anxious, we become revengeful, we get opposed. All those things are happening, no? Our feelings are fluctuating. So it's not that I am organized and not able to observe it. No, I am not organized at the moment. I have to get self-organized. The next slide here. So this transformation has to take place in me. So the current state could be that block B1 is not awakened and we are dictated by preconditioning or sensation. And that's why we have become a part of inhuman society. So we, with this lack of awakening, are contributing to the inhuman society, contributing to wrong assumptions in society, contributing to accumulation, contributing to domination, exploitation, fear, contributing to mastery and exploitation. And then it goes as a tradition, and the next self also starts doing the same thing, and that becomes a inhuman tradition, a inhuman society on the earth. From here, we have to move to the state of awakening so that block B1 gets awakened. So once I'm there in this state, I'm able to contribute to fulfillment of human goal. Okay, and then through education, through human tradition, every self gets self-organized, every self gets awakened, and that becomes a tradition. So through human education, we can ensure personal transformation, and through personal transformation, we can ensure societal transformation. This is important to note because there is a set of people working with very good intention for societal transformation, but they might not be working for personal transformation. So might be that we try to organize the society all at once by making some rules, laws, enforcement of laws, all those things. But if you do not focus on personal transformation and keep on trying for societal transformation, then we have opposition, then we have conflicts, we have contradictions, we have wars, all those things might be taking place. So we can very much see now that essentially societal transformation is going to happen with personal transformation only, because the people make the society. If we are able to ensure this awakening in every individual through education, society will self-transform, the human tradition will be there. So this transformation from animal consciousness to human consciousness ensures the transformation from inhuman society to human society. Right? Once I'm able to observe this, every program that I make for the society comes with this awareness. So there is no anxiety, there is no restlessness in me now. Looking at the state of society, I can see that yes, this human education has to set in. And for that, we are now consistently making effort. We are participating all the time to educate the people, to bring out this personal transformation in the entire society so that the societal transformation takes place. So this becomes the guiding factor for all my programs for society. So reflect upon it. Okay, look into your imagination. See whether it is guided by the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence. If not, then we have to work for it. And similarly, when you go to make a program for the society, we have to see that this society is going to get transformed only through this awakening. So if I do not work for awakening, then I have to keep on struggling with the society. I can see very much in my own university that there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of opposition. And most of the time, people sitting on the top are struggling within themselves and with others to keep things going. When I propose that let everyone attend a workshop, they feel that attending the workshop will take a lot of time and so many things will get postponed. But with opposition, with the feeling of struggle, things are anyway getting delayed. So many times it does happen that we are not able to set the priority for this human education. We are not able to set the priority for the personal transformation. If I have to run an organization in a self-organized manner, we have to work for personal transformation. Let me share one thing that in our college, it is a part of a Caucasian College of University, and a discussion took place that the increment is going to take place for the staff at class 3 and class 4 level, and they are working through a service provider. So presently the increment has not taken place. So everyone is talking about it, and everyone is somewhat complaining that the increment has not yet taken place. So yesterday I was having a meeting. Generally we have meeting with all the staff working in the institute on Saturdays, and we opened up this issue. So I started asking that what are you expecting? So they all said that we are expecting the increment to take place and it has not taken place so far. So we are upset with this. So we started talking about the feeling of prosperity. We started evaluating the assets that they have. And it came out that one person who was most vocal, he shared that, yes, I'm expecting this increment to take place. But when we evaluated the assets that he has, so he already has a big house, right, where he's going to be there because after the parents are gone, then only he has to stay there. He is still getting salary, but he's consuming a big share of the salary in the form of liquor. So I said that if the increment takes place, we are going to consume more liquor. So will that make any difference? Okay, and when we started evaluating the assets that he has, it was found that he has more than required. So if we do not talk about such things, if we do not open up and talk about these basic things, maybe the staff gets anxious, they get into the, they get like quite opposed, they start revolting in the organization, and we have a whole lot of struggle taking place. So we have to discuss all such issues. Now, when we opened up these issues, then it became very kind of happy session. They all started laughing that, yes, you see, we are talking about increment and we are wasting a lot of time and energy here. We are not evaluating the assets rightly. Even though they are working as a staff, they have so much of time available in the evening, which they are not able to utilize rightly. If they utilize it rightly, that 10% increment is nothing in terms of the extra income that they can make if they require it. So this kind of discussion for personal transformation is required. Otherwise, we keep on struggling with issues and struggling to make things work. So this is something which is very basic at the level of university, at the level of corporate, at the level of government. We have to keep on working for personal transformation so that we can ensure societal transformation. Ji, nice. This was all from my side. Thank you all. Tara bhaiya.
Ji. Thank you so much, Kumar Bhaiya, for this enriching session. So much engaging also. Thank you to all the co-explorers for taking part in the discussion and putting up questions. Now we'll be switching to Hindi.